Hello everybody, this is an introduction to ImageTrend Elite. We're going to talk about the EMS side. I'm going to start on the what we call Elite Field. It's the new version of FieldBridge, which is on your laptop. So we'll start here, look at it, see the differences, and then we'll go to the actual website. Every laptop should already have a bookmark on the screen, an icon that says ImageTrend Elite Field, and we'll go ahead and log in and I'll show it to you. Well, let's try mine. And guys, while this is loading, the new system is all web-based, so everything you do will be in a internet browser. So the same concept as we did before. We really ask you to restart your laptops every morning, log in, change over your units and stuff. You will not have this screen pop up automatically. It'll go to Springdale Fire Department and we'll load the screen for you. The same formats we do now. You'll start the incident and do your report, and when you get to the hospital, the CAD data will come across in after you check out at the hospital. None of that's changed. It's the same concept. So your crew members, you don't have to hit sync on the new system. Now you have to. It automatically does it for you. Another change is the patient data. So if we have repeat patients, every 90 or 180 days, those will drop off if they haven't been transported or we haven't seen them, and we'll have to put them in again. The reason for that is the data overload for these browsers. It takes a whole lot of data. So by that time, if we haven't hauled them in 180 days, they could have changed medications or anything like that. So it gives us a chance to go back through and have fresh data, so we're not having duplicates like we do now in FieldBridge. So this is my first YouTube video, so I'm not as good as Randy, but y'all can bear with me. And the differences in now in Elite Field versus the actual website. When you run the report, it will look the same. There will no longer be different graphics and be pretty sharp on the laptop versus terrible on the desktop. It all looks the same, and if you're not careful, you'll get confused and if you're in Elite Field versus the actual web page. And the first time as we start generating reports, that sync it'll take longer because there's a whole lot more data coming across. Big button here, new incident. Right now we don't have any other forms in there. We just got the Springdale PCR. The internet's running slow. There you go. Same concept as the old version. You'll enter your crew members. And as you see, as you start doing more and more reports, you'll see that there's a whole lot more options. That's a national level, and the states adding input to it too. There's just more options as all this the healthcare changes and stuff like that. You're going to have more options. What I've been doing on all my calls is I'm a primary caregiver on scene and the primary in transport. Still same thing if you have a driver, your driver. I have him as response and transport. You could even be more specific if buddy cab or something drives you in. You can add them to units. And your shift. Once you log that in, it'll stay the whole time you're on duty, so you don't have to fill that in later on a call. So we'll just start an incident. And when you get into the incident, other than the graphics changing, pretty much the whole flow of the report is the same as it is in version 2. I tried to make it as close to how we do it now, just to make it easier on the transition. A few little changes. There's, like I was saying, the state and the national level both are requiring more information, so there might be some stuff we answer in this program that we didn't answer in version 2, but that's just stuff we have to deal with. Another big change is how we send our data back and forth from the monitors. That's a little bit different. I'll show you that to you in just a sec. And the elite field can be used on and offline. So if you lose connection from Wi-Fi from your ambulance or your engine, you can still use this. But right now they don't have a feature that lets you know if you're connected or not. You'll just go to search for your CAD data or your EKG, and it'll tell you it can't accept it. But you still can run a report without the internet. As you see over here, instead of being on top, it's on the side now. And if you click down, you'll have the same information. They tried to make it a little more user friendly and having buttons like in here, like date and hours and stuff. It'd be a little bit easier to click through. This is also can be used on the iPads. Pretty much any device can run this. So, and like in version 2, everything keys off the incident patient disposition, the first top here, and as you choose that selection from that selection, your validations will change and require you to do more. As you can see down here, the validation score from being on the side over here, now it's down here at the bottom. It's the same concept. If you have a validation error or don't have the right information, you can always click here and click to a location, and it will take you there. Another change is in menu. When you finish the report like we do now, you're completely done with it, you'll hit menu and you'll lock it. You will not, the end user, which that's everybody on the department other than the admin for the site, will have these options and will not have delete. So you'll just lock it. You still will post like we do now. The post button's up here. We'll post at the hospital after you get your CAD data to satisfy the state leaving paperwork, and when you're completely done, post. Like they recommended in version 2, version 3, once you get your CAD data, post as often as you like to update the information so the hospital has it. We'll talk about the EKG now. The EKG button's up here instead of being on the side like it used to be. Now, when you transmit, you'll transmit on the monitor. When you go to hit transmit, you'll have to choose Elite. And that will, what that does is that sends that to the cloud, to the internet, and you can now get your LifePak data from any device. So the laptops are no longer married to the monitors. You can, if your laptop breaks, you could literally pick up another laptop and finish your report. You do have to know what LifePak that is, because as you can see, each LifePak has been named a medic unit, so you have to know. Plans are to get some stickers or something on the monitors big. It knows exactly what device that is. So you will just click one of them and download them just like you do now. Click on your CAD. CAD button's up here now. Same concept as version 2. There. Another big thing is on this side over here, mileage is no longer there. It's over here as a power tool, and it still pre-fills like it does in version 2. Another change is the timeline here, and what the timeline is just a chronological order of your incident. So it will pull up your times. You can have from your times, you'll have your monitor information. All that will put, it's like a storyline. So you can see if you run like a code or cardiac arrest, you can see all that pop up, and you can see, well, that's not exactly right, and you can go to changing and editing from there. As you click through, it's built as close to possible, as close to the same as it is now. Another big issue is when you go to search, like primary impressions, history. As you see, the databases now are extremely larger. As you click here, I recommend clicking on this until you get real familiar with the system, because it will bring up this table and it breaks it down. So you can go through each one of them and it will break down impressions, and you can actually search stuff also. But it's, until you get familiar with it, you need to just glance around here and learn, because they've changed the names of stuff. It's a whole new system, so it's going to be all kinds of new stuff. So just get in there and look. And anywhere there is this button right here, it'll pull up over here like it just did. Also, another big change, there's no longer the naked body. Now it's just in box form, in word form. And that's where exams, and we no longer have the trauma body or the burn or the medical. It's all one. So when you pull up the box, it'll be labeled like it was, but just no body. And when you get in here, like I was saying, each one of these, there's so much more information. Get in there and look around, check it out. If you have any questions, come find us. Another big thing is vitals and treatment. It's been broken down too, as you can see. And as you bring in vitals, stuff's going to look a little bit different. Just as you bring it in, look. If you have any questions, holler. And like in version 2, just so it's loading, every time you change a panel, it's going to save. There you go. There's the vitals. Scan through. You'll, like I've been saying, there's going to be more added. And if we start seeing issues or anything like that, let us know. They're every set of vitals require an alert status, the level of responsiveness. We're trying to figure out a way to get around that, like we do in version 2, and only have to fill in two full sets of complete vitals. But for right now, every set of vital requires that. Just bear with us. As that's closing, we'll go to signatures next. Signatures is a whole different change. It will no longer show the alert or the validation, the red around it. It'll just show the box, and under the validation score, as we pull down here to signatures, it will tell you what it's required, but will not flag red. With this being recorded on, it's running slow. Alright, signatures, as you can see, the box is red, but will not, when you click add, each one of these panels here will not flag red, but are required on certain calls. So as you can, let me scroll down, I'll show you. Right here, the 4 patient signatures required, and as you can see, it reads what needs to be signed, but will not flag red. That's just a flaw in the new system. They're trying to fix that, but we'll have to deal with it until they fix it. So you click the same, just like patient signature it is in version 2. You'll click, it'll have everything filled in. As you see, the HIPAA release and the billing, the information as you read is the same. The signatures, you can enlarge it and fill in the information just like you do in version 2. The next big issue or change is the narrative. Like we do the charted narrative now in version 2, we still have the charted narrative, but it doesn't ask the questions. It just pre-fills the charted on the screen, and you have to go in and fill that in. As you can see here, charted, generate. It fills that in. And as the data comes in, you can generate and it'll fill it in, but will not ask the questions. Other than that, that's pretty much the big changes. Get in there, do some reports. If you have issues, contact me, Randy Riley, or Josh King. Ask what the issues are, because there could be validation errors or anything like that. We're more than happy to help. And that's that's pretty much it. You're not going to break anything. Get in there and just play.